Who's it gonna be? Oh my God! My brain's gonna explode. My brain's gonna explode. There's something sinister afoot, absolutely.
Welcome into the Slightly Biased Show here at the incredible Haymaker Studios that's being overtaken by some type of foreign entity. If you are not subscribed to the Haymaker Network, you can do so. Link down in the description. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. Even if you're watching after the fact, if you're listening on audio platforms, you can leave a 5-star review. It goes such a long way. Let's get down to business today, folks, because we got a lot to go over. We are now 7 days, 1 week away from the NFL Draft, which I'm so excited about. I have so many opinions and thoughts. Cowboys need corners and linebackers and defensive ends and defensive tackles and safeties. Is that all the defensive positions? Jesus. And guess what, folks? We have a fantastic show planned here at Haymaker. You won't believe it.
Hey, it's KT. Join me, Law Nation, Mike the Machine Marshall, and former Dallas Cowboy Barry Church for night one of the NFL Draft. Barry, dude, I haven't seen you in like 7 years. I'm so glad we're doing the draft together.
Looking forward to it, but can you remind me your name one more time?
More awesome chemistry like that. Night one of the NFL Draft here on the Haymaker Network.
Away, the 2 picks, 1-star NFL Draft special live the night of the NFL Draft on the Haymaker Network. It'll feature all of these people you see on the screen and me and Travis Frederick. I will be on a very special mission, folks. I will be checking in live from Rollertown Beer Works. Some rumors that I might even end up at the draft. I don't know. We'll have to see there. With me, Ben and Skin, Travis Frederick, other Cowboys stars. So watch the NFL Draft with Haymaker and me, or come hang out. We have a lot of fun Thursday night, April the 23rd. Look at that graphic. That was a beautiful graphic right there. I love that. So anyways, yeah, we've got a good amount to discuss. A little bit of a personal news, really. I was planning on streaming last night in the play-in games. Had a very, very hectic day, to put it lightly. A very hectic day. And I don't mind sharing this. This is a funny story. So I live about 15 minutes away from my grandparents, who, I'm very close with. So I'm always a phone call away to help them out with anything that they need. They're older, I mean, you guys make fun of my age. Imagine how old my grandparents are. So anytime they need something, they call. I'm ready to help. They called me at about noon yesterday. I'm like making a video from the Hornets game and stuff like that. Obviously, never ended up posting it for our reasons you're about to hear. Hey, can you come pick us up? We're having car problems. Can you pick us up from the car place? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. Go pick them up, drop them back off at their house. I'm walking around my grandparents' house, and I'm petting our family dogs. I'm looking, and I'm just like, guys, do you realize there's blood all over the ground? And I'm walking around, and I'm noticing that the inside of their house looks like a literal fucking crime scene. I'm like, guys, there's blood literally all over the place. So now I'm looking around my body. I'm like, are you guys bleeding? Like, what's happening? You get older, shit just happens to you. So I'm like, is one of you just bleeding all over the place? Turns out that one of our dogs has like a mass on its tail, and we knew it was there, but we kind of thought it was like a bug bite, so we weren't that concerned about it. Did have it like briefly looked at by somebody who was a vet, and they weren't like overly concerned about it originally. But they had like he had a mass on his tail that like busted open. And I mean, it literally looked like a brutal, gruesome murder had taken place in their house. So I'm having to put the dog in my car, and now the inside of my car looked like a huge, gruesome. Thank God I didn't get pulled over for any reason. It looked like Pulp Fiction when they blew the guy's head off in the middle of the car. And then, I took him to the vet. Unfortunately for my boy, my beautiful boy, they're going to have to cut the tip of his tail off. Horrible. So that's where I was yesterday. I was in the midst of a huge, disgusting crime scene. Just blood all over the place. I wonder if the dog tails are like the head for humans where you can just bleed a lot. I didn't post a video because I didn't have time to finish it. I was like working on it. I didn't get home until like 7 p.m.
Did you clean it? Were you on the hands and knees?
Oh yeah. That was a big part of why I took so long to get back home. Was I was in the process of cleaning up the mess that was there. And who knows, guys? Maybe I'm laying down my cover right now. Maybe there was a murder committed, and this is all just part of me laying the groundwork.
Yeah, big
for the
alibi.
cover.
Big alibi.
How do you feel about that? Oh.
Hey, let me tell you guys about a dog and blood and my grandparents. Innocent stuff going on.
48, the first 48. No, it wasn't me. It was a dog's tail. So anyways, that's where I was yesterday, in case you were wondering. None of you were. No, I know. I get it. You don't have to say it. Bleeding dog tails is so messy. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, and he didn't feel it. So it's sad that he's getting the tip of his tail cut off, but I asked the vet, I was like, is this going to change his life in any ways? He was like, no, he won't even know. So I was like, okay, fine. Great. And he's not, my dog died. Okay. Jesus, man. I mean, we're 10 minutes into the show.
I'm in the same boat, dude. I walk in, there's blood everywhere. He's got surgeries and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, geez.
This is a room full of heroes.
Wait, that happened to your dog?
Yeah, I got an old dog. He's
my dog's older too.
He's 13 and he can't see, he can't hear, and now we have growths coming out of places that we had to get cut off. And
when the dogs get older and the growths start popping up, geez. You got to check out the ceilings too, because the tail wag that splatter travels to the craziest places. No, the house is completely. The house is clean.
Let's get the black light.
Yeah,
let's check it out.
The house is very old. Let's not get the black light. I used to live there. Let's not get the black light, please. So, anyways, yeah, poor baby. And the thing that sucks is his tail's not getting cut off until Tuesday. So I wish you could tell him. I wish I could tell him. It's like, hey, enjoy that. You're liking having the tail wagging? Enjoy that. You only have it for a couple more days. But it's also for the best, because this thing was fucking disgusting, man. Oh, and my grandma, I'm taking him to the vet. My grandma's like, no, just grab his tail and just squeeze it. Squeeze it until it pops. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that shit, man. I'm not squeezing this shit. I don't even know if that's what you should do. It turns out that would have been horrible. You should not do that. She's like, just squeeze it. I'm like, dude, there's no way in fuck I'm squeezing this thing. No way.
Now we're doing your next channel.
Yeah. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. And the vet was like, yeah, no, you can't pop that thing. You gotta cut it off. I'm like, okay, fine. So that's that. Big news story in the NBA. We kind of been waiting this. I thought this was gonna go on longer than it did, so I guess it's good that we found out now. But Luka and Cade will be eligible for award voting this year. The NBA and NBPA have ruled in favor of Lakers, Luka Doncic, and Pistons, Cade Cunningham, on their extraordinary circumstances challenge for the 65-game award rule, making both of them eligible. So this, to me, it's great, obviously. Luka played 64 games. Cade had the collapse lung, right? Like, these guys should be making all-NBA teams. To me, this is actually further proof as well that they're getting rid of this rule, or they're at least dramatically changing it. I know Silver is like, no, we like it. We think it's working. The fact that, and in some ways he might be right, because the fact that Jokic ended up playing 65 games, there's no way Jokic plays that last game of the season, and he probably ends up playing, I don't know, like 59. Like, he probably plays under 60 games considering the injury if this rule didn't exist. The fact that Wemby ended up getting to a place where he was eligible, that probably doesn't happen if this rule isn't in place. So in some ways, I think Mr. Silva cooked there. But my guess is this probably means the rule's coming to an end or something, because this leads us down a slippery slope, right? This leads us down a slippery slope because Anthony Edwards, there was another Shams report that Anthony Edwards also applied for this and did not get rewarded. Now, Ant missed like 4 of the last 5 games or something, really, because of resting and trying to manage this knee injury that he has that some people are pretty concerned about. But to me, yeah, the Luka one is a little bit different because, he missed 2 games because he traveled to Slovenia to be there for the birth of his child. Cade's one, to me, and listen, I'm happy that they got, when we did our award ballot, I had all of those guys. Cates, to me, it's like impossible to talk about this without sounding insensitive, but was it not just like a normal injury? I know like a collapsed lung is insane, but an injury is an injury, right? So if I'm Ant, I'm like, well, what the fuck? My injury's crazy. Like, yeah, my injury's crazy. I should be eligible for this award. I should be eligible to make an All-NBA team. Why is Cade eligible and I'm not? Does that make sense? And I'm not trying to say this in an insensitive way, but I'm just saying this to me probably signals that this rule might be going the way of the dodo bird, and they might change it dramatically just because I think this is going to lead down a slippery slope. Where now, if you're playing 60 games, you should always appeal. And then you can just be like, well, why not me? Why not me? Kid got it. And has plenty of kids out there. He should have had paternity too. I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. That's true.
Are you ready for the Lucas stands to now be mad when he doesn't win MVP?
No, this is the best case scenario, I think, for Lucas Stans in some ways, because he was never winning MVP. That was just not going to happen with the voters, right? I'm not saying whether or not he deserved it or not. I don't think he really, especially with the injury at the end, the games kind of knocked him down a peg or two. But it's kind of a best case scenario because he'll all but certainly get first team All-NBA now, and now you have the built-in like, oh yeah, well, he didn't play games and he was never going to get MVP. So it's a nice sort of middle ground where he didn't win it. He wasn't going to win it. Shea's winning MVP. In fact, we could do a quick little brief check-in. NBA awards spreadsheet. This thing, a live tracker of the votes. What do you guys feel about this? Do you like it being a secret or do you like knowing? I like knowing. I like knowing where these things are headed, right? Shea's looks like he's going to be running away with MVP right now. Very interesting to me, just in the early votes that we have. I think we have 19 of the 100 ballots? 100? I think it's 100. 19 of them. Right now, Jokic would finish second, which is interesting. I would have just assumed Wemby finishes second. We'll see once all these votes come out what it really looks like. Wemby's going to win Defensive Player of the Year unanimously. That's not a surprise at all, really. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has a fairly comfortable lead for Most Improved. Again, that's not much of a surprise either. Rookie of the Year. Oh, shit. Rookie of the Year. When I last looked at this, it was Con 6 and Coop 2. We're now at Coop 7, Con 8. And I feel like the really strong Con Knipple supporters have already made their vote known. And now we're going to get maybe some Coop votes coming in. Let's go, man. Come on, baby. Coop a flag. Please, I really want this. I really do. Sixth Man of the Year, Jaime Jaquez. Wow. That's actually surprising to me. Jaime Jaquez has an early lead. Shout out to Tim Hardaway Jr. And it does seem like Joe Mazzulla might end up running away with Coach of the Year. This felt like a really late push because it felt like J.B. Bickerstaff was winning this award all year, and now Joe Mazzulla has made himself a comfortable lead here in some of these early ballots. Now, early voting, this would be funny to do. Dude, you know what they should do? Adam Silver, listen to me and listen to me good. I'm always sort of next level thinking about how we can improve the drama surrounding the league because in a lot of ways the league is a drama-fueled league. That's what makes it fun. That's what we all love. I've long said, let's add to the drama. What can we do to add to it? Playoff seeding is the top teams get to pick their matchups. Fantastic. I love the idea. It's not my idea. It's been tossed out before, but I loved it. I'm here tanking fixes. Boom. Whoever has the worst record on February 1st gets to pick the team whose pick they get. Boom. Love it. Great intrigue the rest of the way. I've also long said trade deadline or fantasy. Trade deadline, free agency, really the draft, and the draft should always be like this. But trade deadline, free agency. You tell reporters, we are going to completely and totally take away your access if you leak any of this. We're going to have a live show right when the trade deadline is. We're going to have a live show. Commissioner's going to come out and announce all the trades one by one. Can you imagine it? Now, also imagine the award ballot playing out like a presidential election. Seeing it. Early ballots come in. Now it's too early to tell, but the ringer ballots have just came in, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has a comfortable lead. And you're just tracking it like it's a presidential election. Something to think about. In fact, don't think about it. Just do it. You're welcome. We're really just going all in here. Yeah, Steve Kornacki. Let's get Steve Kornacki on the board. We just got the ESPN results, and the results weren't great for Coop. He was supposed to win it 80%. He's only at 65. That's what we need. We need that. And I've also long loved the idea of the trade deadline, just being like, you find out after the fact who got traded. Would that not be hilarious?
Let's do an electoral college.
Yeah, electoral college for the results. ESPN has 16 electoral votes. Ringer has 11. Land doesn't vote, people. Networks don't vote.
Question for you on them publishing those that voting stuff. Is that Polymarket related? Did they have to do that?
No, they've been doing this for a long time.
Have they? Okay, I'm dumb.
Yeah. They've been doing this for a while. This like spreadsheet. But it is interesting. You can still bet on it. I was actually looking at this yesterday. You can still bet on this stuff on Polymarket. Like the actual legitimate sports books, they take it off the moment the season ends because of this exact reason. But you can still get on the Polymarket stuff. And honestly, I was looking at them, and I'm not involved in it. I've never put money in it at all. But I'm looking at like the most improved. You can still put money on Nikhil Alexander-Walker and win money.
That's wild to me.
I know, and it's like, dude, there's next to no way he doesn't win this. Like, next to no way. If you saw a free $100, would you not pick it up? I don't know. That's just something to think about. So anyways, yeah, that's a brief little check-in. It'll be fun to monitor. When do they end? They start announcing these like during the playoffs, right? They don't have a set date, which I think sucks. But I just dropped a slightly report on the channel about an hour ago, kind of going into further detail about these games from last night. If you guys are interested, check that out after the show for my full thoughts. But really just briefly, you know, the playing tournament's been great so far. The games on Tuesday were just unbelievably good. That Hornets Heat game, man, that's about as good as it gets. And kind of building off of that, this was from Bam Adebayo today, I guess during the Heat exit interviews, saying that LaMelo Ball has still yet to reach out to him. Bam Adebayo reveals that LaMelo Ball hasn't apologized to him after saying he would check on him. It didn't happen. I want it to be out there. At some point, I'll see him again. We'll have that conversation. So, hilarious. LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball just, oh, man. I would love to just study his brain. Would love to study his brain. What goes into that exactly? What's going on up there, man? What's happening? I've seen people like really start to try to defend LaMelo and that. Dude, I don't know. He tripped him for sure. Now, maybe I personally think it's kind of a crazy coincidence that he also tried to trip Bam Adebayo. There's a clip out there of him trying to trip Bam Adebayo a couple years ago. I actually do think that's kind of a crazy coincidence because I think what probably happened here, he goes up, he gets blocked, he comes down. I think it was Kalkbrenner who like hit his knee into his head, right? And so he goes down. I don't think he fully understands, but he did intentionally try to trip Bam. I just don't think he's like, in the heat of the moment, boom, I'm on the ground, Bam Adebayo's here. I have to trip him right now. I hate him. I just think it ended up happening. But yeah, it's a dirty play for sure. And they went back and they fined him. They gave him a flagrant. So Nick Wright calling LaMelo a clown. So the narrative surrounding this game, and it sucks that I couldn't get a ramble video out about this yesterday. But the narrative surrounding this game, you know, I was listening to our boy Billy Boy, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Bill Simmons. We love him. He was just like, yeah, LaMelo Ball was, in a lot of ways, the least valuable player in this game. No, he wasn't. Not at any point. Like, yeah, he had some bad turnovers and a horrible foul on Tyler Hero. But no, he was very good. Very just typical of the whole season. He was a plus 15, even in a really bad shooting game. They didn't go if he was off the floor. The least valuable player in this game was quite easily Traffic Con, who was dreadful and horribly bad. That was the least valuable player in the game was Con Man, Con Artist, Traffic Con. I'm just saying what they're kind of saying what his nicknames are, right? I would never say that. But that's just what they're calling him online. And I'm just relaying that information to you guys. Traffic Con, Con Man, Con Artist. And again, like that's not for me to say. I don't even want to get into the toxicity of that. He was horrible, though. He was horrible. Khan played good D, though, like 3 times. And again, Genghis Khan, I don't even want to get into it, right? Because I don't want to play into the toxicity of this whole thing. But you're a fucking idiot if you voted him Rookie of the Year. And again, I don't want to get into the toxicity of the whole thing. But you are a moron if you voted him. And again, that's not like...
Respectfully, of course.
Respectfully, yeah. Not to be toxic, but you are a huge dumbass. No, I'm just kidding. I am just kidding, guys. It's all jokes. Anyways, that game was great. Dude, didn't he? Jesus Christ. He dominated that game. He dominated that game. Say whatever you want about Diddy. I do think he has moments where it's just like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this style of play. But Jesus, he walked him down. I mean, that last drive against Goodwin stood no chance. Don't really know what the Suns were doing going that small, but whatever. And then last night's games, yeah, Paolo, I mean, this is reaching a boiling point with him. I don't know. I sort of feel bad for him in a lot of ways, but also at the same time, I watch him. I don't know what he's trying to do to improve his game. You know, it's one thing early on, first couple years, we're trying to really impact the game. Very rarely do young players impact the game in a high way, like impact winning in a very, very serious way. And it was kind of clear and obvious that Paolo was just never going to be like the Wemby types, right? Like these perennial MVP guys. But we're now, what year are we at? Year 4 with Paolo? What's been added to his game? I think that's the thing that bothers me the most with him. What has he added to help him impact basketball games at the highest level? Right? He still can't shoot. In fact, it feels like he shoots less than ever. He's not a good defensive player. He should be much better as a rebounder for his size than he actually is. And yeah, he does feel soft. It does. That's what it feels like, man. He's just been kind of the same player his whole career with maybe marginal improvements along the way. He shot less threes per game than ever before this year. I don't know. I did mention Coop because there are times with Coop's offensive process, I'm like, all right, Ricky, what the fuck ever, who cares? Let's not go down a Paolo road, though. Let's make sure we understand the offensive process has to improve. And I'm 100% sure it will. Right? We see the new Ben Simmons arc. Dude, I mean, hey, say whatever you want about Ben Simmons. That guy was like a perennial defensive player of the year candidate whenever he was out there. Uber impactful. All NBA level guy. Paolo or Coop? What do you mean Paolo or Coop? Coop's a better player than Paolo is currently. Like, right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, and he's not an athlete. That's the thing, because people will say, like, well, he might be like Aaron Gordon. I get they're saying that because he's on the Magic. So it's like, yeah, Aaron Gordon, he'll go to a new team. And it's like, the problem with this logic is you can't just look at it. And this is why, for like AJ DeManza, for example, I'm like, okay, sure, if you're like, well, maybe he could be a great number 2. He could be a great... It's like, yeah, but he doesn't... As of right now, at least, we haven't seen those ancillary skills that are required to do that. Like Franz, yes. Franz does do those things. He defends at a very high level. He's big and athletic. He rebounds well. He's a great playmaker, and Paolo's a fine playmaker. Don't get me wrong. Would you trade Coop, Lively, Christie plus 5 first for Paolo? Yeah, send that in. Send that in immediately. Right, DeMonte is a 1. But then when it's just like, well, what if he's just like not efficient enough as the number 1? Then can he be a number 2? And that's where I'm like, I don't know, actually. He's a much better athlete for sure. I'm not like comparing them as players. I'm more so just looking at them. And then people, I saw a comment on the site report that's like, yeah, hating on Paolo, but working for Cam Boozer. It's like, yeah, but Cam Boozer does all those things. Cam Boozer does defend. Cam Boozer is an unbelievable playmaker for his size. Cam Boozer is a fantastic rebounder. Like, he does all of those things. Very smart, high IQ player. Right? So he does those things. I don't know. I don't know what's next for Paolo. He has to, like, figure out. It's funny because, like, I would say if I could do, like, an off-season training program for him, and all of this stuff is easier said than done. I'm saying if this were, like, 2K and you can, like, train attributes. Can you even do that in 2K? I don't really play 2K much. But you could train attributes. I'd say, listen, fuck all of this inefficient mid-range garbage slop that you're trying to do. Let's figure out some like actual secondary and tertiary skills for you. So like you can impact the game no matter what. We need to figure this out. Because, man, it's rough right now. If he's not scoring a lot, he's not doing much. I'm out on every non-Bane Magic player. Yeah, Bane was unbelievable last night. He really was. He's been their best player all year. And people are going to look at that trade and laugh at it because they gave up so much. But, man, he's been really good. He really has been. He's been very good. And he was very good last night. He was like the only adult on that team. He really was. And then Warriors, Clippers, a lot of adults here, a lot of very old men participating in this one. Steph had a hilarious 35. Did he not? I looked at the box score of this game after watching. I was like, damn, Steph finished with 35? Like, geez. That's the thing about the Warriors that make them a little bit scary is they just go on these barrages, and then all of a sudden, you know, Steph's got 35 points, and they were just down 8, now they're up 2. That's what's scary about them. KP was fantastic. Still, there's just like moments where, dude, you can't even move Benedict Mathurin, but he created for others very well off of the attention he got on those post-ups around the free throw line. Yep, 4 threes in the fourth quarter for Peepaw. Al Horford. I was joking about this in the Silent Report today, but was Kevin Harlan on the call in this game? Who was the broadcaster? Horford had a dunk early on, and they were like, oh my God, how can you even jump that high that old? I'm like, dude, all right, chill out. Please.
Look at those old bones move.
That's like basically what they were saying. I'm like, dude, he's 6'10". Like, honestly, I see Grandpa 6'10s dunking at LA Fitness. Just call a spade a spade. Yeah, Kawhi, I mean, to be fair, though, they completely shut Kawhi down. Like, they double-teamed him. They muddied the water so badly, nobody else for the Clippers could get going at all. Nobody else had anything whatsoever. So, you know, when you have just like so many guys that are questionable three-point shooters, and then like Brook, in games like last night when Kawhi's getting doubled every single time he has the ball, Brook has to hit threes. He goes 1 of 6. Derek Jones Jr., 1 of 4. You know, Benedict Mathurin was good, but they ended up shooting 40% from 3. It really didn't feel like it, though. Yeah, Draymond was unbelievable. Made me feel good about putting him on my all-defensive team. So anyways, the Warriors, I think, are the scariest of these. Like, tomorrow night, we have Hornets Magic. The winner of that game will play the Pistons. Hornets Pistons is interesting. You could talk yourself into that series going a lot of different directions. If the Magic miraculously win tomorrow night, they're getting gobsmacked by the Pistons. Okay? And then Warriors Suns, yeah, I mean, let's just get serious. That actually is a good segue because we're here. We did the Shark Tank on Tuesday with these Eastern Conference teams. We're here ready to do it for the Western Conference, a bloodbath of a conference. Let's get into the Slightly Take. Step into the Slightly Take. Dun, 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 dun. Step on in, folks. Who's first on the board? Where are we going? I'm in on the Western Conference as a whole, I have to say. I think these are going to be great.
Stepping into the Slight Tank is Anthony, representing the T-Wolves.
Anthony.
Let's stick to our principles. Like you said, we've been playing them for the last 5 years. I think we played them the most out of anybody. So just, you know, getting more familiar with their plays, learning it a little bit more. I never get too high, never get too low. Like we was just trying to, you know, get through the season to get to the playoffs. But we here now, getting rhythm, like getting used to taking my shots, getting my shots back, getting comfortable back on the court, running up and down, sliding on defense. And I think the main thing is getting back in shape.
Just want to say thank you, Anthony, for sending that video directly to us. You saw the press guys there. That was all our crew getting that video. So thank you, Anthony. Not the most encouraging pitch, I have to say. Getting back in shape, that's not what you want to hear days before a playoff series starts. Getting back in shape, you should already be in. That's like the whole 82 games. I know he's dealing with the knee injury. But that right there, I'm scared about this knee injury, man. I'm scared about this knee injury for him. People much smarter than me are concerned about it. Obviously, I don't think they stand much of a chance against the Nuggets unless this knee injury or unless Ant is at the peak of his powers, and he's been dealing with an illness too, hasn't he? This will be a really fun series, though. The Timberwolves and the Nuggets. This is going to be must-see TV. I was really kind of more in on the Timberwolves like a month ago, but right now, I'm out. I'm sorry. I just can't see him getting past the Nuggets this year. Not this year. Not this time. I think Jokic says enough is enough. We're taking this one over. So that's what I got. Shout out to Anthony. Again, thank you, Anthony, for sending that in. We really appreciate it. We know you're busy. So thank you. What's up next?
Stepping into the slight tank is Reggie, representing the Rockets.
I was asked to sell the Houston Rockets as a playoff team, so here's my go at it, right? I am a lot of things. A liar is not one of them. The Houston Rockets are a very injured and flawed basketball team come playoff time, right? Number one, Steven Adams, Fred VanVleet, two of our most impactful players, two guys who were starting caliber for us. We won't even have them come playoff time at all. Dorian Finney-Smith was a big MLE signing for the Houston Rockets. He was someone we kind of expected to supplant the production of like Dylan Brooks. He's not even going to play come playoff time because he's been too injured and too trash when he plays to even impact the game on that level. And then more importantly, like I said, we're flawed. We have a roster full of guys who really aren't the best shooters, aren't the best decision makers with the basketball in their hands. So that does not sound like a championship winning recipe. The good news is, though, is the team that we're going up against in the postseason also is pretty flawed and pretty injured right now. Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, depending on who you ask, are the Lakers' two best players, but for sure, two of their three best players. And they're going to go into the series not even playing in the first couple games. They might come back later on in the series, but it started off, they're not going to be there. I look at this Lakers team off the rips and see a team that doesn't have too much point of attack defense outside of like Marcus Smart, who is a bit older than he was when he was in his Celtics days. And then the rim protection is DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes, who were like guys who struggle with motor concerns pretty consistently. The other thing is the Lakers are a bit older, right? The Rockets aren't as young as they were a couple of seasons ago, but we're still on the younger, more explosive side. I'm not really sure if the Lakers are equipped to deal with like the athleticism of like an Amin Thompson or the craftiness footwork of an Alperen Sengun. Especially like I said, there's not going to be any point of attack defense on those guys or any protection on those guys. But like I said, I'm a lot of things. A liar is not one of them. If the Rockets do go on to be the Lakers, like I believe they will, we have a date with the Oklahoma City Thunder in round 2. And like I said, I'm a lot of things, not a liar. We're going to get handled pretty slowly by the Thunder in the next round. But it's all about, getting at that first round. That's my pitch.
Shout out to our guy, Will. We were going to get Reggie A. Remember Reggie A, man? I miss that guy every single day. I really do. Shout out to our guy, Will, for the pitch. And honestly, not trying to sell us on a championship, not even trying to sell us on a conference finals run. I do think he's correct here. I'm buying his pitch just in terms of getting to the second round. Now, what I actually am interested in knowing just from Rockets fans is what, considering the last, I don't know, the whole season really, but how just kind of depressing things have been since like December, what is the season feeling like if you end up winning a playoff series? Is it just kind of, yeah, we won one, but it was against a Lakers team that did not have Reeves or Luka, and I do not think they'll have Reeves or Luka, and we'll talk about that here more in a second, I'm sure, when it comes to the Lakers. But is that just like, what, all things considered, it was a disaster for us, but we did win a playoff series, and there's just something to take away there? I'm not entirely sure, but I will say, listening to him talk, and I was thinking about this more lately, is even if Luka and Reeves played, they're not going to be 100%. I still don't know if I would feel good about the Lakers for all of the reasons he mentioned. With their lack of perimeter defense, the athletes that the Rockets do have, we know that's something that gives the Lakers a ton of problems. But also the big man matchup. Sengun, I've had my thoughts about. They're not a lot of positive thoughts, just based off of what we've seen at times this season. But he still should have a very sizable advantage against this Lakers front court. It had me thinking even more, right? Because I'm like, all right, I'm going to pick the Rockets to win this series without Luka and Reeves, obviously. Even if you told me Luka and Reeves come back and they're like not 100%, I still think I'd pick the Rockets. And then I thought more, I was like, if I really had to sit down and those two guys were healthy, I'd have to really think about it. Now, of course, I probably would have picked the Lakers, but just because the end of game stuff with Luka and Reeves and LeBron, I'd feel a little bit better about. But I do absolutely think that the Rockets should handle business in this series. Now, what happens if they don't? That remains to be seen. But who we got next?
Next in the slight tank, we have Lowe pitching us on the Lakers.
Hi, my name is Legend of Winning, and I'm representing the Los Angeles Lakers. I have been a Laker fan all my life, and this year is our year. I don't know if that sounds believable or not. But yeah, this year is our year. We're going to make it all the way to the NBA Finals. I know the path is very rigorous, and we are missing a couple players, but in the first round, we're going to have the GOAT, the greatest player of all time in LeBron James, match up against a extremely flawed Houston Rockets team. By the time we overcome that barrier, Luka will be back. There are some rumors saying that he's trying to rush coming back, and hopefully he will be healthy. And then after that, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. We do have OKC in the second round. Look, yes, Shea has been remarkable this year, but with Luka back and them missing their three-point shots and J-Dub not being 100% and Chet, anyway, we have both LeBron and Luka. Shout out to Rui. He's going to be there. Luke Kennard, we have three-point shooting. Our defense is inspiring at times, and DeAndre Ayton probably will not play that many minutes because, my goodness, JJ Redick does not trust him, which is a positive thing. That's great. And when we actually do then get over the Oklahoma City Thunder by the grace of the basketball gods, at that point, if we can beat them, then anything is possible. So then we'll be able to beat the San Antonio Spurs or the Denver Nuggets. And then if we get all the way through there, and then if we get all the way through there, then we'll certainly get to the NBA Finals and win a championship, regardless of the team that comes out of the Eastern Conference. By that time, Austin Reeves will be back as well. So we should be 100% healthy. I don't know how convincing any of that is, but yeah, just that is the only way for us to win a championship this year.
You know, I was completely out on the Lakers until Lowe had a point that I had totally forgotten about. And when he said this, it clicked for me. Rui Hachimura, he will be there. I'm bought in now, man. I didn't even think they'd win a game against the Rockets, and God forbid a game against the Lakers or the Thunder. But then I thought, hold on a second. Rui Hachimura will be there. I'm picking him to win the whole thing. It sucks that the Lakers are as beat up as they are because they were a really interesting team. You know, they were starting to figure it out rotation wise, like Kennard, and I didn't really know how to feel about that acquisition when it happened, just because it's like, yeah, but Luke Kennard's never who you really think he is because he doesn't shoot that many threes, but he was really good. And their lineups that they were kind of putting together were just so good offensively, and yeah, in the span of one game, and not even 24 hours, man, the span of like 3 quarters, it was over and done with, right? Luka fries his hamstring. Reeves hurts his back. I don't know if these guys will be there. I found the Iztok stuff kind of interesting and I don't want to say, I don't remember what the exact report said, but Iztok tweeted out that he read that report from whoever it was that reported that Luka's hamstring injury was worse than it was, and then he had to backtrack it, and it kind of left me feeling like Luka's hamstring is actually worse, and they don't want people to know that. That's kind of how I read that whole situation, by the way. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, Siley, you look less skinny today. Just wanted to let you know. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I did have Brahms last night. It was a long day. It was a long fucking day. But anyways, I'm all in after hearing about Rui. I honestly forgot. So shout out. Who's next? Who's the 3 seed? I don't even remember who the 3 seed is.
Now stepping into the slight tank is Joe, pitching us on the Nuggets.
Hello, Sharks. I am coming to you today bravely fighting through an unknown disease that many have speculated to be the onset of a second round of COVID. Pandemic 2, I'm patient 0. Think about all that happened in the 4 years of the pandemic. All of that is resting firmly on my shoulders as I fight through this disease to bring you an exclusive one-time offer that will never come across your desk ever again. In 2 months, I'm going to be driving around in diamond limousines, and I'm not talking lab-grown, evil-ass diamond limousines. And you're going to be like, oh, let me get in on this. And I'm going to say, stay on that side, pal. Today, I'm offering you stock in the Denver Nuggets. That's right. The 3 seed in the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets, are going to win the title this year. And you can buy this stock for pennies on the dollar. First and foremost, because they're matching up with some chuds in Minnesota in the first round that a lot of people have speculated, oh, the Timberwolves have their number or whatever. Not this year. Fuck you. Why? Why are the Nuggets going to win the title? It's because they have the 2 best players in any series that they walk into. God damn it. Not just Nikola Jokic. I said the 2 best players. So, number 1, Nikola Jokic, people have been like, oh, is he losing the best in the world title this year? It's besides the point. Because alongside him, we have Jamal Murray. And everybody knows Jamal Murray because for years it's been Jokic is the steady presence that we can expect to be great in the playoffs. Jamal has to rise to the occasion because he hasn't been that good in the regular season. Well, this year, he's looked like a legitimate all-NBA level player. What is that going to look? What is that going to look like as a playoff riser? Because, I mean, you guys aren't dumb. Everybody here has pattern recognition. That's how we evolved from the gorillas and the freaking Gigantopithecus or whatever. If Jamal's already averaging 25 points and 7 assists, and we know that he gets, let's say, 300% better in the playoffs, a 300% boost in talent and production and winning intangibles and stuff like that. Canadian Michael Jordan. A lot of people have speculated that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is Canadian Michael Jordan. I'm here to tell you that's not true. Plus, there's a bunch of other stuff that really matters. Cam Johnson had a pretty rough start to the season. He's been incredible for like 4 months. Aaron Gordon has missed a ton of the season. He's probably their most important, like, X factor player that's not a straight up all-star. He unlocks an entirely different tier of level of play for this Denver Nuggets basketball team. Peyton Watson and Spencer Jones, I think they're still out for the first game of this series, but it doesn't matter because we've supplemented the depth this season. It's the deepest Nuggets team of all time in NBA history. Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench. He'd have my vote for 6th man of the year. I'm being suppressed by the media. They won't give me a ballot, but I would, I'm sorry if this was incoherent. But if you can't tell by my voice, I don't really feel that good. So I'm ripping this in one take. Slightly, I love you. Viewers, I'm very glad you're here. Please buy stock in the Denver Nuggets, baby.
Shout out to our guy, Jack. Great. Braving the elements to give the pitch. That's a businessman right there. That's what I want to see. I don't want anybody to have any type of care about how they're feeling physically. We don't give a fuck. We're entrepreneurs, right? We don't care. We show up every day. I don't know if you guys have seen this new tactic or not, but we've actually split our entire day into 3 separate days. Well, like the average day is 24 hours for the average human being. For us, it's 8 hours. So we get 3 days done in the span of a day. You're way behind by the end of the week. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but also, I don't want you to have friends or family. If you're coming into the Shark Tank, the Slightly Tank, I don't want you to have friends nor family. None of that, right? It's only focus on your pitch. That was a good pitch. And honestly, God, the Nuggets, I think, have entered this weird where they're not getting talked about nearly as much as they should. They've been very good for a while now. Like he said, Cam Johnson has been really, really good for a strong stretch. Jamal's having his best. And he's right. I mean, Jamal Murray, 300% what we've got now. Do the math on that, guys. That doesn't even make sense, mathematically speaking. No, DeAndre Jordan's on the Pelicans, and he actually was getting some burn this year, believe it or not. But I hate the fact that they chudded their way to the Spurs. Well, I guess for the Nuggets, it doesn't really matter, huh? Fuck it. I'm buying in on some Nuggets stock, and I think should we do a bracket? I have the NBA bracket up here. Should we do that at the end? I have some opinions on them. I really do.
You're so into brackets now.
I am. I love brackets. Brackets are great. Brackets, list, power. I think that's an old thing. You just just give me your top 10 real quick. I don't care about anything else.
Brackets and World War II.
World War II. You know what's crazy? I was thinking about World War II last night, and it's the same thing. Everyone always says about World War II. Yeah, but it's just the scale. That's what I was thinking to myself.
That's a great.
It's like, yeah, but the scale of it's kind of crazy, huh? Like, why am I thinking about World War II? Oh, the scale is just kind of nuts. Anyways, yeah, I'm in on some Nugget stock. Let's get into the Spurs.
Stepping into the Slight Tank today is a guy named Slim, representing the Spurs.
The Spurs are good, but, they're a young team. They got to take their licks in the playoffs. Blah, blah, blah. That's all I've been hearing. That's all I've been hearing. No one wants to talk about the Trae Young 2021 Hawks that go to a conference finals in their first year being relevant. No one wants to talk about the 2013 Indiana Pacers taking Bron and the Heat to 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. And guess what? This year, not a lot of people are talking about the Spurs, and that they could just skip that step entirely. They have the most unique, unguardable player in the NBA in Victor Wembanyama. Underrated, sneakily, maybe the best overall backcourt in terms of guys that can do it all in the NBA. Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. They got Maverick legend Harrison Barnes. Definitely wasn't traded in the middle of the game. It looked really sad when he did. But revitalized in San Antonio. I think they call him like Mr. Perfect over there. You got Julian Champagnie, bombs away. Dude never ever misses. And then the X factor, the one guy that changes everything for him, Luke Cornett. Dude figured out how to contest a shot without even being close to you. Were you serious? Spurs over the Celtics in the finals in 4, maybe in 3. They might figure out a way to do that. Bye now.
I'd be such a horrible person for Shark Tank and investing, because I hear all these. I'm like, you know what? That might be right. I'm just like, the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah. Even the Rockets one, I was like, actually, yeah. I'm kind of like getting where you're coming from. I would just invest in all of these. Dude, I would go back and forth on the Spurs so much, man. There are some instances where I'm like, they could absolutely win the finals. 3 games, I haven't even really considered that, but that might be on the table. And by the way, Harrison Barnes, we accept that here in Mavs Nation. You have to learn from previous mistakes. We fully accept the fact that we traded Harrison Barnes mid-game, and actually it was kind of forward-thinking, ahead of its time stuff, because I'm of the belief, if you've ever watched the MLB during the trade deadline season, they trade guys in the middle of games and take them off the field. And they hug them in the dugout, and the crowd gives them a standing ovation. To me, that's next level, and the NBA should adopt the same thing. Take players out in the middle of the game, let them say goodbye to the fans. That's the end of that. So really, the Mavs were forward-thinking in that regard, but neither here nor there. That's kind of Harrison Barnes, much better at the start of the season than towards the end. That's kind of my concern, though, with them, is the fact that he's like their really only experience. I mean, it's funny because they'll be like, well, De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is 1 trip to the playoffs, bro. 1 trip to the playoffs. I really wish they didn't chud their way into this Nuggets second round matchup. I really, really do. I really, really wish they didn't fuck that one up as badly as they did. Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever. We're buying all of them. They could absolutely win the finals this year. Because here's the thing. Do you want to look like a dumbass if you're just openly like, nope, they're too young, they're gonna fuck it up? I think you're probably gonna end up being right. Just naturally, it's what you see. Naturally, it's what you see. But do you want to look like a supreme dumbass when we look back at this and it's like, oh, yeah, well, guess what? Wemby is clear-cut the best player on the planet. And 2 months from now, Wemby's clear-cut the best player on the planet. He played 36 minutes a night during the playoffs and eviscerated every single team they played. And De'Aaron Fox just, hit some clutch buckets. And their three-point guys that we were a little bit concerned about still hit threes. And Castle and Wemby were just menaces defensively. And then Keldon Johnson comes in off the bench and no one has anything for that in their bench groups. Maybe. That's why, when you're when you're an investor like me, you can sprinkle investments. You don't have to you can sprinkle them. How do you think I built this studio? All right, we'll just have the Thunder left.
Stepping into the Slight Tank. It's a guy that goes by the name of SB.
Interesting. Hey, it's slightly biased. Here to pitch you on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Listen, the NBA is just better when there are villains. This has been proven true historically. How do you become a villain? By winning games. It's been almost a decade since we've had back-to-back champions. I'd argue that the league is just better when there's a big baddie, a dynasty. Think the Warriors, think the Heatles, think the Spurs, the Lakers. It's been a long time since the league has had that. This is the best chance they've had to have that in quite some time. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has just ascended into becoming one of the all-time great guards in the history of the league, and we're watching his career right now. We're in the midst of a career that we will be talking about for the rest of time. What a great time to enjoy it. The Spurs are coming. I don't want it to be right now. Do we really want the Celtics to win? I don't. Yeah, sure, Lug Dort is annoying as hell. Nobody's denying Lug Dort is one of the most annoying players in the history of the National Basketball Association. It makes for good villainry, though. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So there's my pitch for supporting the Oklahoma City Thunder. Wow, who is that? That guy, do we have space? That's a handsome guy, 1, and 2, definitely knows what he's talking about. Wow, geez. I can't click it enough. I'm just like spamming it, man. I'm just spamming it. We're just pressing buttons. I broke it. I might have just broke the.
I'm gonna take those away from you.
I might have just broke the entire setup. I'm buying in on that. Obviously, just exactly like SB said right there. I do think the NBA is better with villains, and the Thunder have adopted that. They might not be the villains that were like the Heatles that were really fun to watch, right? They were just a fun team to watch. But man, I appreciate their game more than a lot of people do. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you have to appreciate them. And I think the thing for them that's interesting, to say the least, is Shai, really in the whole offense, at least last year, they didn't even really have that great of a playoff run. So what happens if the Thunder just shoot well from 3 in the postseason and Shai averages 36? Then what? Are they just going to steamroll everyone? They have such a favorable bracket now. Such a favorable bracket. That, yeah, man. I'm buying in. Thunder. Actually, you know what? Let me save it. Because just want to click that one more time. I've got access again. Let's do this. Should we do this right now or wait? The bracket. Should we hammer this out right now?
He's so excited.
I am. I love a bracket, dude.
Brackets.
Love a bracket. And also shout out to our guy Clay for winning the slightly biased NCAA bracket. I'll be sending him some merch. And if you bought, by the way, just letting you guys know, if you bought a shirt or a Ten Commander shirt or a hat, those are getting shipped out tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow. Thunder, Suns, or Warriors. Oh, yeah, you get to pick the games. I love this. I'll go 5. I will give, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Golden State. I will give Golden State a game where Steph pops off and the grandpop still got it, right? So I'll give them 1 game, but I think they win it in 5. Lakers, Rockets, only 65% of people are picking the Rockets. Do the Lakers stand any chance at all with no Luka or Reeves? Any at all? I'm trying to think why this wouldn't be a sweep. I'll go Rockets in 5. I just don't see how. If this series is uncomfortable, I think that's really bad for Houston, truthfully. Nuggets, Timberwolves. God, I wish Ant was healthier. I really, really wish Ant was healthier, man. I'll go Nuggets, but I'll go Nuggets in 6. I'll go Nuggets in 6. If you gave me, again, for the Timberwolves, we really are just going based off the fact that they've made consecutive conference finals, going off of the fact that, we know they can turn it on in the playoffs, because really they haven't been that encouraging at any point. during this regular season. And I saw a report yesterday that their team is just like, yeah, we're ready to flip the switch. It's just like, you know what? Sometimes you can't really do that. And the Nuggets have been playing very good basketball for an extended stretch now. I just think the Nuggets kind of look like a beast team right now. The Spurs, Trailblazers, I've seen people say the Trailblazers could maybe muddy up the waters a little bit for the Spurs. I don't agree, really. I'll give the Trailblazers one game. I don't like picking sweeps, but I'll give the Trailblazers one game. It's very chalky in the West, but I only have one series going more than 5 games. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna change I'll change it to the Rockets in 6. Why are you giving a single game? I don't know. First time in the playoffs for the Spurs. Is there one game where like Denny goes crazy and the Trailblazers force like 24 turnovers? Is there one of those games at home or something? Game 3 maybe. Game 4 you're down 3 on the series. Last game at home type of thing. You see that happen quite a bit. Pistons. Okay, so this one changes dramatically based off of who wins tomorrow night. Because in a one-game play-in environment, and this game will be in Orlando, in a one-game like play-in environment, a lot of different things can happen. In a series, not a lot of different things can happen. I think the Magic would get fucked on by the Pistons, maybe even swept. The Hornets, okay. The Hornets are legitimate live underdogs, I think. Now, the thing is, they needed kind of a miracle to beat the Heat. And it exposed some of the weaknesses and flaws that scare me, where they can get a little turnover happy. And I like the fact that even in a bad game, they put up the sheer volume of threes they did in that playing game. But if those threes aren't dropping, it can get a little bit spooky. And I don't like how quick they were to concede just going small. Like that was part of their big strength was Musa, and they're going to grab so many offensive rebounds. The Heat just kind of took them out of that immediately by going into the zone. And they were dreadful against it. So I'll go Pistons and is 6. I'll go 6, and assuming it's the Hornets. Cavs, Raptors. I think the East is going to be super chalky. I'll go Cavs and I'm kind of feeling 5. Is that a little am I not giving enough credit to the Raptors here? Or am I giving too much credit to the Cavs? Surely one of these series goes long, right?
You're being a gentleman at least.
True. I'm giving them a gentleman's sweep. I just feel as though I'll go 6. It's not really what I'm feeling, but I'll go 6. Knicks, Hawks. I don't love the Hawks' chances as much as a lot of people, just because, again, I think the size disadvantage in the front court is really going to fuck them up. I know, I've seen that you got Dyson Daniels and Alexander Walker for Brunson, and yeah, that's fair, right? But what happens when the Knicks have like a 40% rebound rate, offensive rebound rate, which I think is probably going to happen. I'll go Knicks, and I'll go 6 for this one. Just because we have to have some of these not go 5 games. But I am feeling like the first round might be very chalky. And then Celtics, Sixers. What is... Okay, I should know this. What's the Embiid thing? Do they think he'll be back for this? Is there a chance Embiid is ready to go at any point in the series? Or is it a complete no? Can I get an answer in the chat? Do we think there's any world in which Embiid is playing at any point? Because if yes, I can talk myself into the Sixers grabbing a game or not sure. I don't know. Okay. I can talk myself into the Sixers maybe extending this series a tiny bit, but they realistically do not have a chance without the firepower of Joel Embiid. So I'll just go 5. We're just doing a lot of 5. Yeah, sweeps don't happen as much as you think. Here I'll predict a sweep. I'll have the Thunder sweeping the Rockets. I don't know. What with the Rockets? I just think this is a horrible matchup for them through and through. I really do. Just the sheer amount of pressure that you can put on the Rockets' already flimsy ball handlers. I don't like this series whatsoever for them. So I'll have the Thunder sweeping Houston. Nuggets, Spurs. Jesus. It's great. Nuggets and Spurs. Whoever comes out of this series, there's going to be 2 cinematic series for them. Maybe even 3, depending on if it's the Nuggets Timberwolves, how that goes. Because this series will be unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I do think I'm leaning Denver, truthfully. I have to be honest with you. Again, this is why pretty unfortunate for the Spurs that they're in this situation. Because there was a very real world where the Spurs got the Blazers round 1 and then the Rockets round 2. And you're just kind of almost certainly cakewalking your way to the conference finals. Nuggets is so tough. It's so tough. We just saw they played an unbelievable overtime game a couple weekends ago. And you saw the Jokic, the somber shuffle fadeaway over Wemby that didn't even make any sense. You know he's capable of hitting those shots. And then the Nuggets have been much better in the clutch lately. And this gets down to it in clutch games. And it's, a very green Victor Wembanyama, a very green Stephon Castle, a very green Dylan Harper, and De'Aaron Fox, who's never played in a second-round game. Like, I know he made the playoffs, but he's never been in a second-round game. I think the Nuggets win this in 7, and I think it's an absolute masterclass. I really do. Now, this is before the series starts, so to be totally fair, the opinions on this can change depending on what we see in round 1. But this is just before the playoffs start. And I might change my mind before these lock in on Saturday morning. Who knows? But I think we get an unbelievable Nuggets-Spurs matchup. Pistons, Cavs, kind of interesting. This one, my opinions on this series, assuming this series does happen, will change depending on what we see in round 1. 100%. If Cade looks great and the Pistons just look like they haven't missed a beat, right? With Cade being out for so long, I know he came back at the end of the season, but there's no like weird wonkiness with integrating him, and you really need Dennis Jenkins playing around the level he played at the end of the season. I feel like I'll feel way, way, way better about picking this Pistons team. Man, can you imagine this crowd? Can you imagine the Detroit basketball crowd at the end of some of these games in Detroit? Chance to go to the conference finals. I'm gonna go Pistons. Man, this is one of those series that I can see again. The first. Oh, yeah, this is a bad, and this just got pointed out. This is a bad matchup for the Pistons non-shooters. Mobley and Allen just roaming off of Pistons non-shooters is a little scary. Jeez, this is a real tough one. Again, this one will become a lot clearer. This one will become a lot clearer as we see these teams play over the next couple of weeks. I'll have a better idea of what I fully feel about the Pistons. God damn, I don't know, man. I'm not thinking that the Cavs might win this shit. Do I trust the Cavs though? Like, of course not. Donovan Mitchell's never made it to the conference finals. Fuck it, let's go Cavs in 7. Let's go Cavs in 7.
Damn.
Knicks Celtics. Oh my God. Dude, this second round, if the first round plays out pretty chalky, like I think it almost certainly will, man alive, this second round, dude. Spurs, Nuggets, Cavs, Pistons, Celtics, Knicks. My God, Silva, you cooked. You cooked, Mr. Silva. You could say Harden will choke, but his playmaking won't. It's not hard to pass the ball and set up guys for lobs. I feel like actually the more I think about it, in a playoff environment, I think the Cavs are kind of rough for the Pistons. Just because of the sheer just like 3-point shooting that can be out on the floor for the Cavs, 1, and 2 ball handlers that I'm not really worried about getting sped up that much, and Harden and Donovan Mitchell. And then the ferocious defenders that can help off of your bad shooters. It's going to be a lot of pressure on those guys, man. A lot of pressure on the Sar Thompson, Ron Hollands of the world. A ton of pressure. Even on your like traditionally okay 3-point shooters to actually hit their threes. Man, that'd be a great series. Knicks Celtics, this series will be absolute fantastic cinema. Absolute fantastic cinema. So I think I'll just say this and cop out. I think the Celtics having home court will just be the deciding factor. Can we get 3 7-game series in this? Can we get 3 7-game series in this hypothetical second round? Nuggets, Spurs, Cavs, Pistons, Celtics, Knicks. The thing about the Celtics, and it scares me with the Mitchell Robinson matchup. I'm so interested to see how many minutes Vooch is going to play. So interested to see how many minutes Vooch is going to play in the playoffs for the Celtics. Oh, God, that's a great series. Celtics, Knicks. The Knicks, I mean, they had no problem against the Celtics last year. They really were kind of dominating that series. There were some big fourth quarter comebacks and stuff, but man, they looked so comfortable in that series, and they were up 3-1. Or were they about to go? They were about to go up 3-1 when Tatum tore his Achilles in Game 4. Correct? It's a better Celtics team this year, though, which is interesting because it's interesting to say that because they lost KP, who wasn't very good at all last year. They lost KP. They lost Drew Holiday. But I just feel like they're a better team this year. With Keita emerging and being as good as he is, Shireman, Pritchard. Goddamn, that Celtics team's unreal. Thunder Nuggets. Unbelievable series last year. And whatever happens in the conference finals, it's going to be tremendous. Do we think there's any possibility it's anything other than Thunder Nuggets or Thunder Spurs? Like, are we not giving the Timberwolves enough credit here? Here's going to be, and I was thinking about this today. Here's going to be my logic. Let's scroll back to the last round. I had the Thunder sweeping the Rockets. First round, I had the Thunder beating the Blazers or whoever the fuck they're going to play. Clippers or, Warriors or Suns. Had them winning that series in 5. So, in this scenario, the Thunder have played 9 total games going into the conference finals versus the Nuggets, who I had in 2 very difficult first round and second round series. That, to me, scares me for a team that hasn't been really that healthy all year. And I know the Thunder haven't been very healthy. But a Nuggets team that guys are just coming back from injuries, and almost certainly guys are just not going to be at 100%. To have like a pretty fresh and presumably healthy Thunder team, really kind of healthy for the first time all year in a conference finals where you've just had 2 wars. That's why it sucks. That's why you wanted the bracket that the Thunder have now, because that could have easily been the Spurs bracket, where you could assume, or at least kind of project them cruising to the conference finals, and now you're pretty well rested, where the team you play in the conference finals, almost certainly the Thunder, had at least had to go through 1 war. The Nuggets had to go through 2 wars in this. I'm going to go with the Thunder. I'm really kind of thinking 5. I know that seems unfair because it was a 7-game series last year. Aaron Gordon's hamstrings absolutely cooked. Michael Porter Jr. couldn't lift his shoulder. But yeah, I'm going Thunder in 5. And then Celtics, Cavs. I just can't get there with the Cavs in this one. So I think the second round might be a little bit more cinematic. I'll go Celtics winning it in Cleveland in Game 6. Even though I think that might be 5, truthfully. And that leaves us to a Thunder Celtics finals. I think this would be cinema. I think this almost certainly, I think we could get back-to-back 7-game final series if this is how it ended up going. This would be an unbelievable series. It would be so good.
This is what we need.
This would be so fun. And, a lot of fun storylines. Like the Celtics won it 2 years ago. The Thunder won it last year. Like whoever would win this series is kind of knocking on the door of just like a mini dynasty starting. I'm going to go with the Thunder, though. I mean, I just think they're going to win it this year. But I think this, like I said, Thunder in 7 over the Celtics. Let's go. How many total points scored in Game 1 of the NBA Finals? Game 1's always weird, fill-out game. I'll go 218. Kind of low scoring. Let's go. Subject to change. But I feel good about this. It's definitely a little chalky, but I mean, it's not. This isn't March Madness. Huge upsets rarely ever happen. Winner gets the Mavs GM job. Yeah, there you go. Winner. Hey, this is how you would sell it. Hey, the winner of this series between the Celtics and Thunder You've done all you can, man. How is this even fun anymore? You've either won back-to-back or you've won 2 in 3 years. This isn't even fun anymore, man. Like, come on. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Presty, Brad Stevens, you hearing me? This, dude, this is going to be nuts. I'm looking at this second round. Nuggets Spurs round 2. What did we do to deserve this as basketball fans, huh? Must have been something great. Celtics Knicks round 2. Pistons Cavs round 2. I'm honestly I know upsets can be fun, but I am selfishly hoping that we just get kind of a chalky round 1. We need these second round matchups. The upsets are kind of fun in college basketball, but in the NBA, I like having the competitive series. I like a 6 or 7 game series. Huh? Guys, are we still making those 6-7 jokes? Not sure if you guys know what that is. Any of you guys seen anything? Paolo's legit just Tobias Harris on HGH. That's a little disrespectful to our guy, Toby. Toby's a good role player, man. Second in field goal percentage. Second in franchise history for DeAndre Ayton. You being dead, LaMelo Ball. This story just gets more fun. I had to check to make sure this wasn't Centel. LaMelo Ball reportedly made an effort to speak to Bam Adebayo after Tuesday's game, but Bam was in the shower. That would have made this story 10 times better if it came out that LaMelo went into the shower with Bam Adebayo to apologize. That actually would have been the cherry on top of the cake.
The shower, sorry.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm sorry. Hey, dude, I'm in the middle of a fucking shower. No, it's all good. I just want to say sorry, bro. Do you mind if I come in? Actually, I need a shower, too. You mind if just save some water? You guys ever use that one? What's the most trash in, like, high school, middle school? Well, hopefully not middle school. High school. How many of you in high school, hand up, and I'm going to be honest, I have to raise my hand. How many of you in high school hit the damn without me response to a girl when they said they were showering? Hand up.
Come on, dude. That's a 100 batting average.
Yeah, no, less than that, bro. Maybe 0. Maybe 0. Everyone's done it, though. Come on. All right, that's all we got for you today. On Tuesday, actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're gonna be live on Tuesday because that's when I got to take my baby boy, my beautiful family dog, into the vet to get the tip of his tail cut off. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll be back next week again. The draft, the NFL draft, a week away. We'll be having a big show, and Saturday, the NBA playoffs start. I cannot wait. We'll be live all day. This is going to be incredible. I'm looking at... no, I was not a wear my hug at guy. I was not. Come on now. Second round, man. I'm looking at this. Cinema on its way. Love you guys. See ya.
Who's it gonna be? My brain's gonna explode. There's something sinister afoot. Absolutely.
Security at the Haymaker Network is provided by Smith Thompson. Secure your home now at smiththompson.com.
Iron Ball.